Good morning. Good morning. What is up? How is everybody doing today? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, who's out there? Whew, I don't see anybody here. It is just me alone. Well, let's just run this back. We'll do a little tutorial on what this is. David, what's up, buddy? Thank you for breaking the chat silence. Finishing my Alienware ads on Twitch. Will be there soon. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. David loves his ads. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Daily Dads, a morning show where I and a couple other guys jump on and we just talk, get to know each other. We talk about our day. We talk about what's going on in our life in every aspect of our life, whether it be work, parenting, relationship. There's nothing we don't really talk about here. And I welcome you and anyone else to do the same. Feel free to drop anything in the chat. I will read it. I will put it up there on the board, and we can take the conversation in any direction you want. The basic premise is that we read a page a day in a book called The Daily Dad by Ryan Holiday. Highly recommend the book. I'd show it to you, but I don't have my copy. Mine's on a Kindle. You can find it anywhere. Usually Amazon's the best price. Um, I love the Kindle. It makes it easier for me to bring it anywhere I go on travel and read this page a day. So that's the basic premise of what this show does. Uh, well, every day is up to Jason. Good morning,
What's
sir.
up, Tom?
How you doing?
Good morning. Good morning. I'm good.
Gonna
I'm
be
good.
me and you today. We have a silent chat. We have a low audience. I don't know. Everybody's everywhere else. I expected that.
Well,
Yes, I
Dom, if
expected
it's
that more
just you and
yesterday
me,
after that crazy Dodger game that went all night long. But yeah, people are still being chore.
David's here.
David is here.
But Dom,
David's
does that really
reliable.
change what we do every day?
No,
It doesn't.
no.
It does not. Yet we persist in
Yes, sir.
our little morning gatherings.
David, I don't know what that is. It says Celsius. Ow, my blood hurts. I was
Um,
thinking the other day, I was like, I need to ask ChatGPT to make me an image of my friend Ryan Turner, just like with crushed Celsius cans in the background and like dust all over his face and like a table behind him with a couple of lines on it. But I didn't do it. I got busy and I went home. Good morning,
crushing
card fishing.
Celsius like I crush my sets.
Yeah, exactly. Or like I crushed Doritos.
I do that
Yeah.
at the worst possible time of the night. Just once in a while, though. Maybe once a week. I don't know.
The goal is just to do it. Just do it in the 7 o'clock hour. Don't do it after 8. That's it. So like I crushed a bowl of Doritos, a beer, and like 2 Netflix shows in the 7 o'clock hour, and then just went to bed in the 8 o'clock hour, and then I'm fine.
I totally agree. Like I'm not disagreeing with that. It's just like I'm up and it's 11:30 for some reason. It's just like some nights I'm just like, no, you deserve a snack, and then
No.
that just destroys the entire next day.
But you, but Jason, you don't deserve a snack at 11:30.
I deserve something, Dom.
The only snack you should be eating at 11:30 is like a couple of Advil, maybe a shot of NyQuil, like to get your ass back to sleep.
Yeah, totally agree. I agree with all of that. Even if just a cup of cold water, which is like the best. It's like
A
throwing
little
on a fire in your stomach
a little romantic release if your wife's awake too. Like all those things, but definitely not Doritos and Netflix.
at 11:30 at night. That's a hard no. Good morning, MP. Good morning, cards.
Next dad's after dark topic. The neighbor kiddos are asking for candy. I will have at the end of the week. The heat is on.
How to
Yep.
seduce your wife past 11 p.m. Is it possible? I submit that it is not.
Good morning, MP. Uh, it's definitely, I would say, more difficult than defusing a bomb.
Yeah, because as we all know, trying to do that is like fusing a bomb. It's like setting the fuse off.
Look at MP. It is if you change the clocks.
It's only 10 o'clock, babe. It's only 10 o'clock.
What are you talking about? Oh man. All right. What's up, bud? Did you get the
So,
workout in?
yeah, got a leg day in. My Monday leg day was moved to Wednesday,
Okay.
and I'm feeling really nice. Went to
Good.
bed at 9 o'clock. I felt like I was like getting on a ride at an amusement park when I laid down in bed and the clock said like 9:03 or something. And every time I do that, I'm like, I should do this every night, and then I won't.
Well, so if your bedtime that you like is 9 o'clock, well, right now we're only an hour behind. So like when I'm going to bed at 8, I should just send you a text and be like, remember it's bedtime.
Can we FaceTime? Can we just FaceTime ourselves in bed just to
to
keep
s-
ourselves accountable?
to sleep.
Who are you talking to? Nobody. Talking to Tom.
It's my meditation sounds. Don't worry about it. I'm listening to Jay Crunch Doritos.
Dom's voice is my white noise.
Oh man. All right. Well, I had a wild day. Yesterday it was a quick half day. Then I met the designer on my new project, and she kind of blew me away with the amount of stuff that and the amount of detail and the amount of design that she's gone through on this project. So I was given a large tote bag full of materials to now study. So the job that I've been planning and working on since last year, it's now like, let's say, completely different ish. So I almost have to like rebid the whole thing, have a pretty long talk with with the owners, basically telling them that this isn't going to go the way that they had originally talked about, like building the house for this cost, building this house that they've designed for the cost that I quoted them is not possible. So it's gonna be an awkward conversation. It's one that I don't like. It's a part of my business that I wish I could kind of like fix, but the neighborhoods that I'm in and the place where I work, a lot of these houses lend themselves to a high end design,
Hmm.
and people come to me for more of a budget construction. Like I can build a beautiful home, uh, but I'm not a designer, so I don't have like that eye for this or that. So I usually will recommend people find a designer, but I tell them, I'm like, you got to make sure that you let them know that you have a budget. I just don't think that they have this conversation. It's
So,
crazy.
so
Good
is
morning.
this an existing project that
Mhm.
was redesigned? Like this is version two?
Um, so what I've found out is that the owners have been in talks with this designer since around the times they were in talks with me. So like we've been going in parallel, but not really, like I haven't really known what's been going on because usually they do the design behind closed doors with the designer. And a lot of times the designer will go through the whole entire thing before they and then they'll finalize it with the owners, get them to approve it, and then they have this meeting with me and show me everything. And we try to do it as early as possible, but in this case, like, I just wasn't brought in early enough and made aware of all the stuff that was going on, and it's yeah. Designers love selling that high end over the top fall in love design, so yeah, exactly. It's that. I have to toe the line because I can't be, like, rude about it, but my the client when they hired me was like, "We're hiring you because you offered it at this price," whereas the other people, it was at this other price. But the other people had it at the other price because they knew the designer that was involved. I didn't know that. Like, they hid that detail from me.
Right.
So I kind of feel a little tricked. So I'm like, I have to come into this conversation with hey, you guys kind of like pulled one over on me, and I'm not sure if you meant to do that or not, but like it can't be done. And I will work to find a way to give you some of this stuff, but you just have to know that, you know, that's crazy. The amount of stuff that they put me that I went through with and the whole time I'm sitting here, I'm listening to the lady talk about all of it. I'm enjoying like her presentation and I like her attention to detail. It's really good stuff. But the whole time I'm just thinking to myself, like, this could easily be another 500 to $1 million
Damn. So
of
you come
ads.
in, so this is, I guess I'm rephrasing this as a non-construction person. Is you come in, you say you can do this project for this amount of money, but then they brought in a designer that beefed it up with the expectation that you can do it for the same price that you offered. Is that
I don't think it's the expectation that I can do it for the same price as I offer. It's more along the lines of like when we build these homes, there's no exact detail on every little like tile, paint color, all that stuff. So I have a version of that where my clients who are on a budget, I will assist them in picking everything out and building the home, but it
Mhm.
won't be this like fantastic magical thing that you see in magazines or these little like design tours. It won't be like the greatest house, but it also won't be super expensive. That's one version of it, and that's mostly what I offer. But then if people are like, if the couple that's building the home, if they're like high functioning people that work all day, every day, like they don't have the time to pick out and make all these decisions and do all this shopping. So they will most likely hire a designer. And that's where they can tell them like this is kind of like what I'm looking for. This is my budget and go. But like MP was saying, a lot of the designers, like, they hear the "this is my direction" and go. They, like, skip over the "this is my budget" part, and they have their own, like, each designer has their own style and their own people that they wanna select and they wanna use, and so they tend to just go in that direction. Um, and it just gets a little out of it's like a, snowball running down a hill kinda situation.
Yeah.
By the time by and the way that they've built their companies is they kinda like lock you into something, and they do all these man-hours to, like, put together, like, I can show you what I got, but they put in all these man-hours, and then it's like, how do you say no to that, and how do you not build it after so much? And this one, the what I got from this lady was, like, something I've never seen as much detail, so I don't know. More to come.
So, okay. I am interested in this. I'm just interested in the process. As somebody who went through, did a little bit myself. Good morning, Brian, and good night.
You too, buddy.
Thanks for jumping in.
Thanks for stopping by.
Um, yeah. So, assuming maybe these people have some money to throw at a designer, possibly, if they're going through with it.
Yeah, so, like, this one in particular, like, they the designer that they hired, they were talking to them while they were talking to me in the very beginning, and this designer, they the company is built with a one portion of it is design and one portion of it is build and construction. So, they were talking to the designer the whole time, and the designer's like, "Go downstairs and talk to the build and ask them for a price." And the build gave them the price, knowing that they were talking to the designer, and it was, a couple $100 more a square foot than I was. And so that's why they went with me. But I didn't have that detail, like, that I didn't know that they were going with this, like, high-end design company. Because I would have asked them, I would have said, like, "Okay, well, if you're going with them, like, what is all the others like, I don't work with them. I don't know what they're doing, so I need more information." And then right now I have the more information, so now I almost have to rebid the project,
Gotcha.
and there we're gonna have to renegotiate, like, whatever's in there, and I'll be helpful. Like, I can see that this team is gonna do a lot of the legwork, so I'm like, I can see where I can keep my fee low and, like, not gouge them for my rate, but it's all the labor and materials for all the additional stuff that we didn't account for, um, is gonna be that, $500,000 extra.
Gotcha. So it's a little bit of a challenge. Question
Yeah.
for you. In today's reading, do your kids ever get to observe you doing this kind of negotiation where things might go unexpected and then you have to handle it and renegotiate or talk people through things?
No, no one listens to me at home.
Aw.
That's why I come here. I mean, it's like it really is, and honestly, I don't fault necessarily my family for it, because I know that I have enough of these conversations. Like, with you and everyone here, this is a new area and a new avenue for me. But I have my office mate Scott. He and I talk about this stuff all the time because we live and work in the same world with the same clients, with the same designers. So he and I, unload all the time. And then I do it a lot with my other subcontractors too. When I was working with my mom, she and I used to do it all the time. When I was working with my friend Terry, it was the same. So, like, I have my avenues. I have been starting to say some of the stuff more and more to the wife and kids. I do a lot of it with Amy. Like, she knows a lot of what's going on. Um, and then the kids, I'm just starting to sprinkle it in, and that's mostly because of the Daily Dad book. Like, before it was like this is all above their head, all above their pay grade. I'd rather just know more information about them. But now I see the value in what the readings are telling me is like yeah, you want to know more about them, but like it can be hard to pull information out of a teenager. But if you tell them like stories about how you're stressed and how you're dealing with problems, it can spark a, oh yeah, that's kind of what I was dealing with in class the other day. And like even though we're on completely different levels, it's all kind of boils down to like the same thing. Like it's relationship management, it's trying to be honest but not hurtful, is trying to like tell someone the hard truth, without creating a fight or blaming them or shaming them for not telling me they had a designer. It's like it's all that kind of stuff.
Gotcha. I ask because I think this is something that me and Kristen do well. Today's reading is about when things go haywire, whether it's in a job or at home, mornings kind of explode, plans fall through. That is when our kids are watching us the most for their cues. What do they do in a situation like this? References Jocko Willink. You probably have all maybe have heard of him. Like Dom's voice, he also has a very ASMR-inducing voice as well. If
Thank
you
you.
follow, I used to follow him a lot on Instagram. He would always post his whatever time, whatever ridiculous time he would wake up at. I think it was 4:30. He would post his watch. That was something that kind of sticks in my head. I haven't really listened to a whole lot of his talks, but I'm aware of like what his role is in the, I don't know, data sphere, I guess. He does talk about kids a lot and how his military experience relates to everything else, which I appreciate. Our mornings, I was trying to think of something where we notice, or we are super, maybe even hyper aware of the kid's reaction. Because growing up, Kristen was very sensitive to changes in the family dynamic. She comes from a divorced household. So those things really, like those really little changes, like when we first started dating, she did not like change. And I was like a wild card because I would either not plan or change plans, like on a dime. And that was like something that was kind of a difficult spot when we first started getting together.
Yeah.
But when we're watching our kids, we are very sensitive together on seeing what they do or being aware of how they react. For example, our mornings are always, I mean, they're consistent, but they're not relaxing. It's like we leave at the same time every day. Sometimes we get out at the same time. Sometimes it's a few minutes late. But our kids, and this is kind of a recent development where Kristen was like, hey, like the kids are like, they do kind of get a little bit amped up because of how the mornings are going. And I thought I was under the impression that like we were on the same page, we knew what we were doing, but it is a bit of a rush because it's like getting dressed, getting breakfast. I get down here, and that that bleeds sometimes into that morning time. And Kristen was like, she told me a few days ago, where it's like sometimes these, like the way that these mornings are structured, sometimes the girls kind of they kind of get a little bit heightened because of like the pace of the mornings. Like it's not always it's not a relaxing morning. It's just consistent. We are all together. Kristen's doing hair. I do breakfast. Me and her we'll tag team the lunch making. So we work really well together. But if we get to a certain time, I've started noticing that like my oldest, she'll take my keys and she'll go out and start the truck because she knows like she wants to get going. And then like my 6-year-old, she's always asking, are we going to be late? We're never late. It's like we always get to school on time. But
Yeah.
that heightened stress level does affect my girls in different ways. And I am wondering how they observe me and Kristen doing all this. Like one good thing is Junie, my middle kid, she's up before everybody else. I'll walk upstairs and she's already dressed eating breakfast. I wonder, I have not asked her yet, if that's because I'm up early. Hopefully, maybe yes, maybe that's something that she observed. With my oldest, something that I've noticed is getting independent at 12 years old. She will, and like eventually she will end up asking for help with something or asking for advice on something, or
In the morning.
yeah, in the morning, or sometimes like on the way back from like soccer practice at night. It's like I've said before that our rides have kind of become silent because she's into her, texting friends back and forth. But then once in a while, she'll turn off the phone and then she'll just do this big brain dump on me, which I will welcome at any time.
Yeah.
Um, just to kind of, it's, sometimes it's an issue about friends, sometimes it's about our soccer practice. They, her team got a little bit of a reprimanding from our head coach. We didn't have the best game on Saturday, and I really appreciate the seriousness in which our head coach Steve presents that to the team, where it's like, you didn't do the things that we've been doing all season. It is a rec team, but we are a good rec team, and like the expectation level is higher. So I'm planning on asking her like what her thoughts were on that and how maybe she reacted to that level of talk from a coach. And then
Yeah.
my question for you
Okay.
is, what do you notice from your kids based on your and your wife's reactions to things? Like in stressful situations, do you notice any habits that your kids have picked up from you two?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've talked about it a little bit. We've talked about the overparenting from the older kids, parenting each other essentially. So in those stressful morning situations where we're running around, it's like Amy or I will be, reminding the kids, get your shoes, your water bottles, your snack packed or whatever, for especially for the older kids. And then they, turn around and parent each other or make little comments. I mean, I don't know. I don't think I don't think the stressful rush of the morning is a problem. I don't it's nothing that's out of the ordinary. Like, we all have it. Like, there's always that moment where you've thought about how much time it takes you to go from here to here to here to get the kids to school, whether it's one school or three schools, and like the furthest point that you can leave. And so in your mind, you're already planning like all the things that you need to do. And in this every like the wildest thing is that it's every day, right? Although my schools, and I'm sure yours do, and a lot of them do, they change the time on you like every couple of days. Um, but it's just a normal part of it's just a normal part of life, and learning that those stresses are always going to be there and that you can handle them and manage them through proper time management and thinking about things and doing little hacks where like your shoes are right by the door, or your backpack is unloaded the night before so that you don't wake up in the morning and go, oh crap, like I have old food in here that I left overnight. Or like me, for a while I just got tired of like changing in the morning. So I would just like lay out my clothes the night before or even wear them the night. But, like I went through a phase in high school where I would just shower at night, and then I would get dressed for the next day and I would go to sleep in my clothes. And it was just because then I didn't have to wake up as early. It was a different phase of my life where I didn't want to wake up as early.
Yeah, I was there.
Now, nowadays it's different. Like, I've noticed, the mornings are way more my thing. and like my daughter, my middle child, Brooklyn, she wakes up really early now because she's noticed that if she gets up really early, she has time to shower and like really do her hair the way that she wants her hair to look for the day because that's important to her. And it's super cool because she's doing it all on her own for a couple of weeks or a month or two. She asked us to wake her up. And then after a little bit of pushback from us about like just set your own alarm, she's now doing it on her own. And it's really cool to see. And it gets her down and ready earlier than anyone else. She usually texts me in the morning when I'm away and, says, good morning, dad, all that kind of stuff. And then she gets this time where she can just like hang out by herself on her phone alone downstairs and like not have the chaos. And I think that's just very good for her. I hope that eventually she'll take that time to do something like creative work or homework or, AI learning or, something like that. But I genuinely think that's has everything to do with me and my schedule, like her seeing what I've been doing and seeing the work that I've been putting in and me telling her how important it is to like get to sleep earlier and then wake up early. If you like, I told her, I'm like, if you want to shower, like wake up earlier, like figure out how long you want to shower, how long you want to do your hair, how long it takes to dry, all that stuff that I don't understand because I'm not a girl. I just do one of these things and then my hair's dry. Um, yeah, I think they see it. I think it's helping. Like I love that you said like your one daughter jumps in and starts the truck and yeah, I think you guys got it down. Like it's controlled chaos. It's stress, but it's healthy stress is what I'm getting at. Like it's nothing that they're not gonna need to know the rest of their life. And so that's basically this is a practice trial run for them to see how you and Kristen or me and Amy act in stressful situations, how the kids can act. And they're learning it through repetition. They're learning that little things like ruin it, right? Like oh crap, I forgot to take my lunch out. Or, we had a late night, so dad didn't wake up this morning. Or dad's late because he's at the gym still, or he's talking to Dom because whatever reason Dom is being interesting that day.
Every day, Dom. Every day.
So it's good.
Yeah. This is something I'm gonna ask. This is something I'm gonna ask my kids today in our car ride. In if their brains are open to a slightly deeper conversation.
Yeah.
Sometimes Kira has said, "Dad, I don't really feel like answering these questions right now." So
Hmm.
that means that is something that she's used to me saying, which I'm happy about, and I'm
Yeah.
hoping that she remembers these. So
Come find me when you're ready. But I'm gonna keep trying, basically. Like I'm not gonna give up, like trying to ask these questions. But like if you ever find a moment where you're ready, come find me. And then the best thing that you can do as a parent, which I think you had already referenced, is like no matter what you're doing or what time of day it is, you have to like find that deep down energy and be ready for them
yes,
in whatever moment they choose to bring, whatever moment they bring you curiosity and openness. Like as a dad, like that's a new thing that we're learning is like you can't shut them out because there's a football game on or you're getting tired or you're at the gym and your pre-workout is kicking in. You got to be there.
yeah. If there's one thing I want my kids to remember is that their parents always had time. So I think I'm
Yep.
doing like that.
I think so
Um,
too.
all right, I got to go. Great
Yes,
talking to you.
sir.
Always, David, Revan,
Always think
MP, Profits, if you're still awake. Everybody else, Leslie, thanks
Debbie
for
Debbie
the
Turner popping in, Carrying Camel, Mint Mink, all the people in the background, our stage 4 lurkers. Love you guys all. Have a great day. And we'll
with
see you back here tomorrow.
cards.
Card
Yes.
fishing. Yep.
All right. Have
See
a
you,
great day, everyone.
everybody. Later, buddy.